Hello and welcome to the shed. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to sharpen a set of shop scissors or shears. Hope you enjoy. So I actually have two different types here. I've got this much older style cast metal just with a screw in the middle there, and they've just got the screw exposed nut, and then I've got this pair that's actually a little bit loose, so we'll cover how we can actually tighten that up as well on these style, because this looks like it's done up with a screw but it's actually not. So we'll tackle both of these. First we'll tackle the actual sharpening. So I thought the first step should be, let's see how well they actually cut. They're actually cutting pretty well. They could cut a little bit better. Now, before I move on, since these are actually scissors for paper, that's why I've got these. But these ones I also use on fabric, so let me just grab a quick piece of fabric and we'll see how well they cut that as well. So I've got an old t-shirt here, so these usually cut fabric pretty well. You can see they're getting a little stuck there, but they are still cutting it, but not as cleanly as I would expect. They should be cutting that much easier, and I have had them cut better in the past, which means they're not as sharp as they could be. Let's just test these ones as well. So they're only really cutting right up the back there and not through the full length, and that is partially because if they're loose like these ones are, they can't make contact along the cutting edge. For this, I've just got some various sandpaper grits on here. So I've got a 240, and then I've actually got wet and dry, so that's 400, 800, 1500. They're the same ones that I used when I was reprofiling the axe. When it comes to scissors, the one thing you must never do, and sadly it looks like these ones have had it happen, that is on this flat side. You must never sharpen on this flat side. Never take material off on that flat side, because then the scissors will never meet properly, they'll never cut properly, and even if they are sharp, they're not going to do the job right if you do that. So even when it comes to removing a burr, I would only use a strop ever there, and be careful, because for the most part with a pair of scissors, actually when you actually go and use them after you've sharpened them, it'll knock any burr straight off because they're running right along the cutting edge. So that's just something to bear in mind, but you could use a strop to remove that, but never use any sort of grit there. You just don't want to, there's no need to, and it will wreck the scissors. Once again, this is very basic, so if it's quite blunt, as these are, you'll actually be running along here with your 240 grit, and you're just matching the angle here. Now, if you struggle with matching that angle, what we always like to do is blacken that bevel. So you can see here, so now that I've blackened that bevel, you can actually see what we're sharpening. It's not the whole thing, it's only this little edge here, which is at quite an acute angle. On these ones I'm not quite sure what it is, but they're right up there on quite acute angles, like 60 degrees on some scissors. I think it's more aggressive on this pair than this one. And what you're looking to do as you come through is to ensure that you're getting the entire bevel sort of at the same time. It's a little bit tricky, especially if they're going to be sharpened a number of times like these ones. And so I'm just running along it. So now that I see I've engaged it, I can feel, and the only way to really tell is you need to feel that it's got a sharp edge on here. There's a little spot just in the middle here, so I'm just going to sharpen on that angle for a little bit longer. You're actually just gently pulling your fingertips across the cutting edge, and that'll tell you if it feels like it's scraping your finger. You'll feel that it's actually formed not necessarily a sharp edge, but an edge with the flat here. So now I'm going to move on to my 400. And you can re-textile that bevel with the permanent marker if you need to. I'm just watching it until the so you can see here the scratch pattern. That's what I'm looking for, until it's all one consistent scratch pattern. You can see here it's not quite got it, so you'll see that I'm holding it here and I've got this pressed against my thumb. That's how I'm locking it down. You might be able to find a better way to hold it, but I can do this in my hands and I find it actually works quite well. So now that we've done that, I'm going to move on to the 800 grit. I'm just going to change where I hold this now. Once again, after running that, it looks like that's at a little blemish in there. It's probably not going to affect it too much. It feels nice and sharp, so you can see, once again, a consistent scratch pattern. Hopefully you can see that there all the way along. And then, normally I wouldn't even go to 1500, but I've got it here, so if you've got a strop handy, you've got to be careful doing this, but you can sit it there, straight pull like that, just making sure that it sits flat as you do it. That'll knock any burr off. You could polish that edge on the strop, but there's not really much point. So now let's repeat it on the other side. But once you've got that angle matched here, follow it all the way around. Make sure you get right up to that tip. And now we'll bring in the strop. So we can see here, they look like they're a screw. That's not a screw. It's actually a little rivet, a punched rivet. So what we need to do is peen this side that was under the plastic cap. We need to peen that down so it actually tightens it and pulls them back together. So we're going to embed one hammer in our vise, make sure it locks down nice and tight. Put it wherever it needs to so your vise can actually grab it properly. So we're going to sit this here and we're going to strike the pin. A couple of swift whacks, see if that's tightened it. Now it's starting to tighten it up. You can see I'm working around it. So with hitting it on that screw side, it's almost got tight enough. And now I'm practically getting no wobble, so that's nice and tight now. So now that we've tightened up these inexpensive ones, let's just give them a quick sharpen. So now we've finished sharpening, let's go back and test these again. My prediction is that these scissors will just cut the paper because that's all they're really designed to cut. And these ones, now that they're sharp, should be able to cut all of this. We saw we had a few issues with cutting this fabric before, so they should be able to cut straight through that now. So let's see how well we actually did, starting with our just stationary scissors. Now that they're nice and tight, they were cutting the paper before, so kind of what we're expecting. They don't cut too well right at the far extent here because they just flex a little too much. But for the most part, if you just set it cutting through, they are performing better than they did. on the fabric. They didn't really cut before. How are they going to go now? About the same. Like most of these scissors, they only cut very well for the first inch or so of the blade. A little bit of Scotch-Brite here. They kind of flex here. Once they get to these point, the actual arms flex, so it's probably to be expected, especially now that we've tightened it here. Wherever they've flexed out, they might need an ever so slight bend. It's not something that I've done, so I'm not going to do that today. Sandpaper, once again, it cuts fine for the first probably half, but it's that last little bit where these just flex out that they're not working. So it's kind of what I'd expect. Keep these for paper, as that's what they're designed to use on. Now we've got these ones. They actually need a quick oil on the mechanism, but they're sharp right up and down. Now I know it struggled with this before catching about in the middle, so let's just lap this straight over. And we cut. Still didn't do 100% there, but it did go through it, so let's just try one more. Normally you're going to get one layer of fabric, so let's just Scotch-Brite, as you would expect. They're going to go through that, and sandpaper, which is the thing that's going to stuff it up because it's going to wear your edge. We can see it cleanly cuts that. So I think we can safely say that both these pairs of scissors are working much better for their intended purposes. Very cheap scissors. I didn't really expect too much of these in the tune-up on these, but they are working better, sort of. They're tighter, so they're actually easier to operate now because they're actually operating the way they should. But as you can see, these cheap ones always have some sort of issue. And this pair, although it's not 100% cutting in that one spot, it is actually cutting it now rather than just bending over and not cutting it all in that one spot on the blade here. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, do sound off in the comments. You got a pair of scissors that's blunt and needs sharpening? Is this the same sort of process you might have used to sharpen yours? And if you'd like to see another great video such as the one you've seen here today, do check out the videos on screen. Bye for now.